In the creek where I grew up, there was always something to do. In the creek where I grew up, everyone was around. You couldn't get away with much. You couldn't get away without someone seeing what you were doing. And that's okay, because we'd have got into more trouble the other way if adults didn't watch their kids at all. I'm sure there'd be a tremendous number of falls, because the children, they are at an age when they're little where they don't have fear of anything. It's as they get older that they learn to lean on your shoulder, and they want to hold on to mom and dad's hands. But when they're just little, they will do just about anything, and they have no sense of fear at all. I remember going to the post office with my mom one day, and it wasn't a very big space. I'm sure I mentioned this. You walked into a block of area where there was nothing, and then there was a cage, sort of. If you wanted to buy stamps, you stopped right here at this wicket. And for some reason, there was a little tiny door, I think, up on that wall. So there was one other lady in the post office, and Mom, she went to get the mail. Couldn't have been more than 3 feet away from me when I reached up and took her hand, headed for the door because we were going home. And I looked up, and it wasn't my mom. It was a lady that I didn't know from Adam, and I didn't know quite what to do until I turned around and I saw you, my mother, and I ran right into her legs because I was scared even then of strangers who weren't yet my friends. And I ran to her and I put my arms around her legs, and she said, "That's what happens when you don't pay attention." I wasn't paying attention to what she was doing. I was looking all around. Bobby Wall was up behind the bigger wicket, and when I looked up, he didn't wear a frown. He was smiling, saying, "You hang on to your mother. She's a good, good woman. And I know your father a good man too. Your mother will get you home safe and sound. Now get off with you, because there's not much room for other people to come in. And you've got your mail, so off you go." They talked for another minute or so, and off we went. And I looked up to make sure that the other woman hadn't, traded identity with my mother, I guess. But in that little tiny space, I got lost. Even though my mom was in the room, that can still happen to any one of us when we lose sight of what's important to us. when we lose sight of what's important to us. And isn't that the truth? Right? When we lose sight of what's important to us, we can get lost. Happens so easy, we don't even realize that we're lost. Don't have to be a kid of 2 or 3 years old. You can be a kid of 23 years old or 63 years old. If you don't pay attention to your life, you can get lost. Let's not do that. Okay? Okay. All right.